Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome new subscribers. Great to have you here. Okay. There's a lot of energy in the field that feels quite nothing and everything. Neptunian with little bolts of clarity coming through. But what I got really curious about was there seems to be a big purging, healing, this deep scorpionic fake aqua new moon shenanigans, people getting sick. So it looks like as a collective, something quite significant is being purged, which is all wonderful. And I've pulled some cards out, and what is looking like actually are 3 stories have landed on the table. I'm not going to bring them together. I'm going to do them separately, see where the story goes. And I'm not going to do astrology. I don't want to get lost in that today. I just want to kind of sit in the energy. And the energy just feels kind of warm and empty. And at the same time, personally, I'm quite poorly. I haven't been this poorly in 20 odd years. I think not since Y2K. So something really big is coming through the system. And it's not just in me. There are other people getting quite sick. So, but yeah, thank you. Finish the sentence, Chrissy. What I was going to say was, it kind of doesn't feel like, oh, woe is me, I'm poorly. It feels quite light and heavy. So I started with the archetypes because I want to see what's getting touched in this. And the first archetype card to come out is the dilettante. And I got a specific message with this, which was around bringing it all together was the specific message I got. Bringing it all together. And it looks like there's a kind of larger synthesis going on of what we've been blindly and accidentally building for years. A little bit here, a little bit there. It's like the spider sitting in the middle of her web, feeling every single vibration. And greater than the sum of its parts is what I'm getting. And so we may have placed a teacup over here and a dinner plate over here and maybe a teapot down here. And now it's like, oh, okay. So it's building into a place setting. So what am I inviting in? Who am I setting a place for? So it's greater than the sum of its parts. And the dilettante is going to challenge in us the patriarchal Capricornian, but I don't have a certificate and I'm not an expert. Or I am an expert. And I want to sit in that. Okay. I'm just hearing you're going to have to speak about it. Okay. We have is it the full moon? There's a Leo full moon happening in 5 days, something like that. Check the dates. I may or may not do a Leo full moon reading. And so full moons wrap up roughly a 6-month cycle. And roughly 6 months ago, I had to let go. I didn't have to. I chose to leap off a cliff and burn down the Chrissy Sawyer listening to you attachment to the identity. Not burn the identity down. It will still live on in some kind of expression. And I took a leap as Zeta came into my life with, I think, an eclipse and hit me like a comet. And I jumped with it. And when it came in, I said, I think I've just found my alter ego. And that alter ego, Zeta Ophiuchi, which I discovered last week, is in my first house. Haven't even checked that. Zeta Ophiuchi is in my first house. And is helping to express the part of me that is galactic. It is the galactic beingness of expression. Well, what is that? Can't bring that, or I bring that. Where's the certificate for that? Okay. Okay. And so the dilettante has been kind of ridiculed in society. Charlatan is a word I get. And what we know, all those little gifts that we pick up along our path are there for usefulness and value, usefulness and value. Pick them up. But I don't understand it. Well, so this is going straight into the sacral chakra. Oh. Oh, this is not nice energy. I feel sick in this energy. It feels, yeah, it doesn't, does it? It doesn't feel heavy. It feels thick, but it doesn't feel heavy. This is the weird energy. It's like it's dematerializing, and it's oh God. Right. What I've just got with this is the feminine that has been put on a pedestal and gaslighted into believing she is something powerful, but actually she's being fed upon by those who take her passion and her light and her creativity. Mm. And this is whispering to the nodal axis, which is going to change halfway through this year. And I think it's going to change to Leo Aquarius. Which comes back to that question that I've been mentioning about how do you stand in your personal uniqueness in the collective? Aquarius, the collective. Leo is like the shining star on stage. And so how do we do that now and drop all the Leonian pride and ego, but birth the light? Because Leo is a big heart. It's just a big loving heart. So how do we birth that? And that actually gets spoken to in the second reading. I can see this. This is lovely. It's going to unfold. So the dilettante is like, bring it all together. Don't be afraid of what you know and don't be afraid of what you don't know. Surrender to setting limits, because those limits might belong to the current paradigms, but we're breaking those. They're all dissolving. That might be what I'm feeling actually. There's a dematerialization of the system, which is going to release anger. Okay. So the cards to clarify this dilettante: surrender to setting limits. Yeah, bear with me. It's two messages with this card: surrender. Because what I immediately pick up is let go of your need to set limits. Aquarius doesn't really speak to limits, it speaks to openness, the future, the inventor. But there is a meaningful, valuable caution in here to practice expressing your needs. And again, this comes from the personal into the collective. It's that relationship. Might be where Leo lets go of its need to be loved and just brings its beauty and its uniqueness and its love. and passion and fire into the collective and stands in that. So remember, no is a complete sentence. So check your limits, check your limit setting, I might say, because we have forks, plural, coming up in the road that are going to turn the head. Yeah, I've not seen that before. So the llama is kind of busy reading the signals, and the light is here. And the light is lighting up the path. And that's just a small turn, 45 degrees, to follow that path without getting too hung up on the directional arrows, which begs this big question of what the hell am I building? Well, what lights you up? What is your passion? Keeps coming back to that. 44 wants to build. And so sit in the energy. Sit. It's okay to think. Well, well, well. Look at that. Look at the images on those cards. This is rebirthing. They're both sitting on a column. God, that is stunning. They are both sitting on the column. It's like the fall of the Roman Empire, I'm getting. The rising of the feminine. Throat, right at the seat of the throat. Okay, so building the new, not necessarily knowing what you're building, not getting hung up on traditional certificates, and people love a piece of paper. Well, we're birthing the new and there may not be the piece of paper. How willing are we to take the fool's leap into that? Okay, forks in the road, new life, building the new. So it's a real turning point here. And the rebirthing of the magical feminine. It's magical. Let's go. I'm going to bring the sea creatures in. I was learning about Sedna this morning, which is an asteroid with like a 1,000-year orbit. And Sedna is going to be moving into Gemini. And Sedna represents the deep ocean. And in there, there's a challenge of how deep can you go? Okay, so I'm being taken back to a story I shared on this channel about the reservoir and the breaking of the dam. And it's rather beautiful because it's like it's not going to happen in the old dark night of the soul way. It's happening. It's happening, but it's happening in such a gentle way. It's deep, very deep. And it's just causing physical illness, but there isn't that heaviness. Okay, sea beasties, what's the story here? Speak into this story, please. When I was shuffling these cards earlier and when I was tuning into the energies, this card came out and it's come out again. Okay. And the card is take note. So clearly I didn't take note of it the first time. So it's come out again, say take note. So, okay. Yeah, okay. Your answers are being given to you. Quieting external voices and excessive noise will give you the chance to hear what is being offered. I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the pieces. Where are they all going to come from? Don't get cross. So this is it's the spiraling right down into the heart. It's coming right down into the heart. Yeah, it's knowing what your question is, actually, because confusion, I don't know what Neptune's doing at the moment, but it all feels very watery and Neptunian. And the confusion might be the new navigational tool. Okay. Wow, that was weird. There was a time shift there, and I didn't quite know where I was for a minute. So getting really quiet and coming to center and just listening. It's that. It's just listening. It's freestyling. It's, I don't know, and I'm sitting in confusion, and that's cool. So the answers are coming. Definitely. You may have become complacent. You might be stalling or in need of a new surge of energy. Become aware of the dynamics of your life. Look at the movement. The movement in here, because this dynamic is pushing through. It's going down deep and then pushing back through into the light. And this is quite cyclical. So it might be begging a question about what am I going around in? Am I going around in trying to find the answers in the left brain, thinker? Or am I carefully thinking about what my intuition is pulling in? Or do I spiral in a little bit of anger because I can't quite figure this all out? Okay, so I'll show you those again. They're so pretty, these cards. And there's a letting go energy with this push to the surface. So there's a kind of leaving it all behind energy. It's breakthrough energy. Yeah, it's that heaviness, isn't it? It is. It's leaving that kind of heaviness behind. I mean, this will kind of always represent the deep psyche, but it just doesn't feel that heavy. It doesn't feel that heavy. Now, this is me reading the energy, and you might be picking up on this differently. Yeah. Well, I don't know. They just make me giggle. So we have a 22 and a 44. Unexplained wonder, magical blessings and miracles are occurring in your life. All your prayers are answered now. And if you can't see them, do you know what your question is? Do you know what your prayer is? Okay, beautiful. Where am I going? What's the best guidance for the dilettante piece? What's the best guidance? Oh, that's interesting. There's a lovely soft energy here of it's receptive. It feels receptive, like the little hairs have come to her for what? For what? And she's just receiving. There's no busyness. Cycles could literally speak to spring. Oh. I got Venus coming in here, and this is me not speaking about astrology. There's a Venus retrograde in a few months, which will make us look at cycles around how we value ourselves, self-value. And literally, in our self-value, is it okay that I'm a dilettante? Is it okay to know little bits about many, many things? Can we be with that? Or does our ego want to come in and turn us into an expert and lock us in a box? I got the box. I think I have. Yeah, it's just listening. So cycles of self-value. Because if we're building something new, which I think we all know we are, oh, that's interesting. Okay. So we've got authority coming in here. So we've got the card of equality. And seahorses are the fathers of the sea. They raise the babies. Look at this big masculine, I am mighty power. And that's coming in literally with power. On the 11, wow, 11, 22, and 44. These are master numbers. These are master changes. Yeah. 14.5 is speaking to freedom of expression, raising Kundalini. Why is she all hunched up? Does her dad not take her seriously? This is feeling quite Capricornian, Saturnian. Might be the reworking of the father archetype. The watcher. Oh, wow. Okay, I've got it. Right. The Watcher. Being watched in some kind of expectation. It's driving my right ear crazy. Is this what it looks like when the feminine harnesses masculine power? What does that even look like? I like that question. Let's read into that, please. Is this what it looks like when the feminine comes into her power and harnesses masculine energy? Speak to this, Colette. Yeah, that's a yes. Mending. Setting limits. No is a complete sentence. Oh, it's beautiful. That's a lovely little story. These two little girls, look. Just free. Cloud watching. Just free to be themselves. Unbothered, unfettered, unmonitored. And integrating that masculine rather than deferring to the masculine paradigm that imposes its will upon the feminine as an archetype. Wow. Yeah, that means a lot. Okay. We'll go to Sacred Rebels. Let's start wrapping this up now, please. Any additional messages, please? Any additional messages? Oh, oh man alive. How beautiful is that? Yeah. Free from judgment, free to love. Oh, there's nothing more I can say. Free from judgment, free to love. Freedom. Inner trust. The dog is celebrating with us. All right, let's wrap this up. What a beautiful reading. Yes. It's beautiful because so often in client sessions, the dog comes in at just that right moment to say, look at this. And then it wanders off. Then it comes back in. And then it wanders off. I absolutely trust dogs. They have no ego. Right, we don't want all of those. Start again. Underlying gratitude. Okay. I said I would talk about this week. I saw gratitude in a different way this week and last week. So I've been poorly since about 2 days before the new moon hit. And it reached its peak yesterday. I'm starting to feel a lot better today. And in that time, it's like my clients knew because they've moved sessions, cancelled sessions, gone traveling, got sick. And it's like space, more space, more space for me to just collapse and be poorly as beautifully as I can. And I stood and said a prayer for all the clients that have made space unwittingly for me to be good and honest poorly. Gratitude. Gratitude. Okay, cheeky cards. Right, so what's the closing message for today? Oh. Trust yourself. And this might be in the absence of another's opinion or imposition of will or authority. Trust yourself, just yourself. But what if I get it wrong? Then get it wrong. Experience that. There's no wrong or right in the field. There's just energy. Okay. Wrong is your perception. Wrong might be a perception that got created in the imposition of someone else's will upon you. Freedom. Trust yourself. Wonderful. Guys, that's it for now. I will be back again with you soon. I'll leave you with my love. Please like, share, subscribe, and I will see you all again soon.